Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 4, I think we're up to, of this week's Look Finance SEQFC preview show. With thanks to Vilic Law, I'm Darren Lutton, and we're talking about the beautiful game and the beautiful people that play the beautiful game in the beautiful way. And I've got some beautiful people to help me talk beautifully. We have got the beautiful Karyn Longbottom. Karyn, good evening.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
Excellent to have you. We've got the beautiful Liz Ridley. Good evening, Liz.
Evening all again.
And we've got the most beautiful Anthony Costa. Good evening, Anthony.
Good evening, Darren. Good evening, everyone.
Good stuff. All right, so it's been very wet lately. You guys out there all know what's going on. Heaps of games being called off. We're looking through the draw and only a few games have been played. So, look, let's start with the MPLW. Karyn, there was a great deal of action on the weekend. Let's see. I make it we had 4 games played on the weekend, yes?
From memory, yep.
Yeah, so interesting one. Logan Lightning won, Football Queensland QAS won. That's dropped points for Logan.
Yeah, absolutely. The QAS are really quite a good team when they have everyone available. And I think Logan just at the moment are just struggling to finish in the final third. They're creating enough good half chances, just not capitalising on them. And QAS, you just can't count them out in any game.
South United 6, Moreton Bay United 1. No surprises there. Mitchelton 2, the Gap 0. That's a bit of an upset.
Yeah, it is, but I must say I went to that game and Mitchie were probably the better team for the most part too. Created a lot of chances and probably should have scored another 3 or 4. Having said that, the Gap did have a couple half chances as well that they maybe could have put away. So, I mean, I think Mitchelton definitely deserved that result.
And the massive result on the weekend, that huge upset, Lions FC Donut, Eastern Suburbs 1. Your old team, Karyn.
Yeah, look, I only got to catch the first half an hour, but Lions were extremely dominant and it looks like that carried on through the rest of the game. It just happened to be that East took their chance and Lions unfortunately struggled in front of goal, which is not very Lions-like.
Definitely. And with the Southwest Queensland Thunder and Gold Coast United game being postponed, we have 2 teams on top of the ladder. So Lions and Gold Coast both on 43 points. But, of course, Gold Coast United have played 2 games less. So it's in Gold Coast United's hands and they've got matches to spare. They can do this in a canter now.
Yeah, definitely. So the remaining games, basically Lions have Gold Coast United this weekend and then Mitchie, and Gold Coast have Lions obviously, and then Thunder and Gap and QAS. So look, it's theirs for the taking. No doubt that Gold Coast United are in the best position.
If you were Gold Coast United and you're taking on Lions this weekend, would you just be playing for a draw? Just
I don't think that Gold Coast United are probably the team to try and play for a draw. I think that they're going to go for it. And, you know, especially probably be buoyed by the fact that Lions dropped some points to East, who, you know, probably didn't play the best in attacking sense, but were very good defensively. So I think they'll be going for the 3 points and trying to knock it out as early as possible and get as many points in the season.
All right, there we go. Let's have a look at the other games there. So we've got Easts up against Capalaba. That's another big game.
Yeah, I think that'll have a bit of feeling to it, especially given what happened last time with the infamous drop ball situation. So that'll be a fiery one for sure.
For those that aren't familiar, recap the story.
Essentially, Easts were in possession of the ball where then the referees stopped play, which means that therefore it should be returned to Easts. However, the referee gave it back to Capalaba, who then there was a bit of miscommunication. Easts thought that Capalaba would give them the ball back. Capalaba weren't necessarily aware. Not quite sure exactly. I'll be on the fence on that one. Played it long and then chipped the goalkeeper to score, and didn't then rectify it after that point. So actually went on to win the game 3-2. So that was actually really costly. Did I say that politely enough for everyone? Like, just making sure I don't I have no thoughts whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
You did a reasonable job.
That's good.
Very diplomatic.
Thank you.
All right. And with the other matches, South United are hosting Mitchelton. That should be an interesting game as well. Logan Lightning take on Southwest Queensland Thunder, and Football Queensland QAS up against Moreton Bay. And who has the bye? That would be the Gap, of course. Interesting, Karyn, just before we move on from this, Gary Ward, the Gap coach, signed on with Moreton Bay United as the under 23s, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So effectively the assistant coach at Moreton Bay United. Did that come as a surprise to you?
As soon as I saw the Gap advertising, I sort of knew that Gary would be going somewhere. I thought it would be QAS, maybe, but I did sort of also get a little bit of a hint that he would be going back to Moreton Bay. He has a great relationship with Dave De Silva, and I completely understand him wanting to go back and work with him because Dave's fantastic. So not too much of a surprise in the end.
And by the way, David De Silva at Moreton Bay, fantastic appointment. Well done, Moreton Bay. You've got yourself an absolute gem there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll actually really reinvigorate their program.
One would hope so. All right, let's move over now to the BWPL, and just one match on the weekend where Coomera had a 2-1 victory over Peninsula Power. Coomera going really well, Liz.
That's okay. They're allowed to. They played. We rested.
All right, so Coomera
Season's not over yet.
are now top of the table, 1 point ahead of you. Of course, we played that one extra match.
That's right. Yeah, we've got a game in hand. So, and that's next week, Tuesday and Thursday week.
What's been the talk amongst the players?
Well, we've only got the one training session in this week, which was tonight. So good turnout. With only having because of the rain, good old bloody rain. But I mean, they put it in tonight. Played hard. I sort of keep away from the training, let the girls just talk. But their spirits all seem to be high, which is good coming into the weekend. So just take each game as it comes and get through the end of the next 4 games. 3 weeks, 4 games.
All right.
More rain.
You are, of course, hosting Annerley on the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you see that one going?
Well, Annerley got us last time, so that was one game that we dropped in the normal season. So, I mean, I think Archie's well prepared himself and been watching a few of their games during the season as well. So maybe a few tactical changes, not sure. But again, I keep out of the coaching. I let the girls and him do that, and I just control the back end, so to speak. So, no, I have confidence in the girls, always have all season. Every team has their ups and downs days. So let's just hope we can turn it around after a nice break and everyone's a bit more relaxed and they don't go into the game too stressed out, and I'll be fine.
Anthony, your side, Virginia United, are hosting Peninsula Power this weekend.
Yeah. I believe it's getting filmed as well from what I saw today. Look, yeah, it'll be a good game. Power is always a tough game. I'm kind of glad that we're playing them at home again. That said, it's always, as tough as it is to play at Power, it's always nice to play on that pitch. So, in a way, I wish we were there. But no, look, it'll be a good game. You know, we haven't trained. We think we trained twice in the last 3 weeks because of weather and injuries. And I even got a message from the physio last night saying not training this week's probably the best thing we could have done because, you know, like if we played against Annerley, I can say it now, but we would have had about, I think, 15 fit players covering both games. So we would have had 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds coming from City 2 game, rushing to Annerley. So in a way, it was a good thing, but I think Annerley are in the same boat as well. And I'm sure, to be honest, I know we're not the only team. It's that time of year. It's that time of year. I say 2 months after the season should have finished, but
Exactly.
look, you know, Power's a tough team, and whatever happens. It'll be a good game. They're looking forward to it.
When you're in a situation you are where you obviously can't win the league. How have you gone keeping the players motivated to these last few games?
Yeah, it's difficult, to be honest, because the girls worked really hard during the COVID break. A lot of energy and effort went into that game against Coomera because they had to win to make top 6 effectively, and it was a superb performance. And then now from that, we've had a lot of injuries. We've had people's work where they wouldn't be expecting to be working now. They have to work. Getting numbers to training is difficult. I think the best thing going for us is our Resis have a chance to win the premiership, and our Prems, we're not going to drop Prems down into Resis to try and win the comp, because as far as I'm concerned, the Resis have got themselves in this position.
Yeah.
And if we win it, it's going to be because of them. If we don't, well, it's because they're the same girls who are going to try and fight for us every week. And the good thing about the squad I've got this year is the Premier League girls really respect that, and they know that even though we want to finish as high up the ladder as possible, but at the same time, if we don't get good numbers and effort at training, that's just going to hurt the reserves as well. And we have got a really strong squad mentality, which is not the easiest thing to create, but we've done it this year. I've got a good bunch of girls who are prepared to work hard, but it's not easy, Darren. It's really difficult. And I think I was saying before we started recording that, we are seriously considering dropping to one night a week because, if we just say everyone, Wednesday's our mandatory session, come along, make it a good session, we'll get everyone at training. But at the moment, we're getting half to one, half to another, because of injuries and work. So it's there's no right or wrong because this is such a new experience for everyone.
It's not as if fitness would be an issue this time of year, is it?
No. It's it's we're all just kind of trying to do what we think is best, and in a couple of years' time, we'll look back and say that was either brilliant or that was shithouse.
The final match in the Premier competition, top 6, is Coomera up against UQFC. Can anyone see UQ getting points out of this?
No.
I hope so. And I'm more than happy, Costa, for you to make some upsets along the way as well.
Yeah, against them suits maybe.
Not the last go.
A quick look at the plate results last weekend. The guys on the Gold Coast show were telling me today about how the Gold Coast clubs, because their pitches are all sand, just drains. It just drains. Rain isn't an issue. So the match went ahead. Broadbeach United up against Rabina, a 3-3 draw there. Karina's match against Grange Thistle was, of course, postponed. Looking at games this weekend, Rabina are playing the Lakes and Karina are hosting Broadbeach. Let's move now to the Capital One competition. All right, now I think I'm looking at a men's league there. We better flip over here. We'll start with the plate. Albany Creek played Southside Eagles on the weekend, had a 4 victory. Now that was that smash. So Albany Creek was the only match that was played. Having a look this weekend, we're playing Switch Nights, Men's and Southside. Brisbane City are playing Southside Eagles. Now let's quickly. But while I get this other matchup, guys, tell us a quick story. Wet weather. Liz, tell us a story.
Last weekend, under 15s on Sunday. Boys got out there just before that lovely storm took away Ipswich. The boys were out there playing. Next thing we could see them on the pitch. There was that much rain. So, and there was this lonely, not player, supporter who went to fetch the ball just before the storm hit. He was actually standing on the other side of the field holding the ball to make sure it didn't blow away. We found once the rain had eased. All the boys ran up, got up in the change rooms, dried themselves off a bit. Rain went away. We went, okay, new water puddles. This is all good. We can sweep them out. Boys, if you want any chance of getting on this field and playing, you got to go and emu run this pitch and get rid of all those twigs, leaves, branches and debris. And both Annalee and Ipswich, off they went. They cleaned that field immaculately. Refs came out, inspected the pitch and went, nah, still a bit soggy. there's another game in an hour. Let's let it rest for an hour and see how we go for the next game. 2 o'clock comes round, pitch inspection. Yeah, next 2 games are on. So the poor buggers clean the pitch for no reason. But it's not wet. No fun.
Darren, let's see your story.
I think it was raining on one night, a lovely night at East Heath Park, and raining, and then all of a sudden there's a bit of a bang and some smoke, and all of a sudden one of the light poles is on fire. I'm pretty sure it was raining then, so hopefully, otherwise, apologies.
So the light pole got hit by lightning.
No, it literally just blew a light fuse. I don't know what even happened. It just literally went up in smoke and flames, and we were like, okay, sure.
Like the Olympics.
No more training.
All right, Anthony, I think you've got a good one for us.
Oh, yeah, mine was back in my playing days. It was at year 11 or 12 when I was playing for Churchie, playing against Brisbane State High School on Thurston Road, which, for those who don't know, it's pretty much opposite AC Karyn's field, so it floods quite easily. And there was a lot of rain, and I was down the ends as a goalkeeper towards the little creek they've got the back. I don't even know if it is a creek. Maybe it was just raining that heavily. Anyway, the rain it started to flood until eventually I realised how bad it was when I put the ball down for a goal kick. And I pointed out to the referee that I think it was getting a bit wet. And when he asked why, I just pointed the ball, which was literally just floating off the field. So that was a very interesting game of football, and we ended up finishing the game somehow. So, school football, eh?
So you didn't have an airy. Good story. I like that one. All right, now, Women's Capital League 1 Premier. Karyn, did your match go ahead last week? So that 3-0 victory because of 3 goals, or was it a 4?
No, we definitely got the game in because we played on Friday night. So yep, 3-0 win. Toowong didn't quite look like the same team, so I don't know if they were missing some players or not. But we were actually really quite good for once. It was really lovely. So yeah, 3 cracking goals. I think 2 of them made the highlights, and the third one got omitted only purely because it wasn't a long range goal. But it was a good goal by Chloe Proditis. Shout out to Chloe. But yeah, it was a convincing win.
And a 2-1 win over Taringa. And the Olympic match against Pine Hills got called off. Let's have a quick look at the ladder and see what that does. So North Brisbane move into second place. They've having played that extra game on 26 points, 2 points behind Olympic on 28, with Pine Hills another point back. Karyn, it's still kind of... No, you're too far away, aren't you?
Oh, look, to be fair, we're just happy to win certain games. So, yeah, we were looking forward to that Toowong game in particular. So, yeah, we're pretty happy with where we're at, given our squad.
All right. So, looking at this weekend, Pine Hills are playing North Brisbane. That should be a cracker. I'd suggest that the winner of that game will come second.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think Olympics probably going to just be a little bit too good.
Yeah. You're away at Toowong, and Taringa are hosting Kangaroo Point Rovers. How did you go against Taringa earlier this year?
We had, oh gosh, I think that was the game that got filmed and we were absolutely terrible, and I think we gifted them 2 or 3 goals. So, yeah, we weren't great, but look, Taringa's a pretty okay team, so should be an all right game.
Very good. I think that's all that we've got there. That's going through all the competitions. This rain's really thrown a spanner in the works, hasn't it? You don't really have a feel for where things are at the moment. So I might have to do one of those, God, I've even forgotten what they're called. I do the write-up of what's left in the competition. State of play. That's right. I'll have to start doing some state of plays and who plays who, and what's left and what's needed to win and who's going to win and all that sort of thing. We might get onto that over the weekend once we get these polls out of the way. Crazy stuff. All right, guys, do we have any announcements, anything that we need to share before we wrap up the show?
I'm out.
Still nothing, Liz.
Still nothing. Hey,
We have to wait, don't we?
Well, let's just wait till the 14th of November, and then we'll probably all have announcements with any luck.
Well,
yes,
interesting on that. Did you see the post from Football Queensland where they announced that they had 13 applications?
Oh, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does anyone know the 13 applications who they are?
Not yet. No.
Yes. I did see Southwest. Is it the Sunshine Coast one?
Sunshine Coast Fire.
No, is it
No.
Wanderers?
Oh, yeah, but they won't have to reapply. They don't have to reapply because they're already existing.
Files and all that out, which is spot on.
But I tried to find their coaching staff and couldn't find it. So I was interested as to how you can kind of advertise your trials without going, hey, here's our coach for a team we didn't have previously. Anyway.
Well, it's a bit like saying we've got a license, but we don't have any teams either. So come along and let's make a team.
I'm going to keep quiet with this one, I think.
Well, we have teams but don't have a license, and there's the other option.
I was more so hoping that Wanderers had appointed someone really good. That's all. I was just looking forward to seeing someone to revive the game up on Sunshine Coast.
Exactly. Good, worth the drive. Be good to have them back in.
Yeah, agreed.
The old days of driving to the Sunshine Coast for MPL. Long time ago. Junior days.
The Wanderers can both be successful, and we can have a Sunshine Coast derby.
I don't know if there's enough female footballers up there to sustain that. Gold Coast, yes. A Sunny Coast, no.
I think as much as derbies and that are fantastic, I think realistically, I think there are two zones where you can't, or three zones where you can't have more than one team. Southwest Queensland has got Toowoomba. Sunny Coast, I think you can only have one to be really competitive.
Yeah.
And I think Ipswich can only have one. And I know
that's a fair point, Costa.
Look, and I'm not trying to stir the pot. I think realistically there has to be an Ipswich team, and I think Football Queensland have to give one of those three spots either to keep Western Pride or to get an Ipswich City. But I don't think there's the numbers for two.
Oh, I'm going to be diplomatic and be quiet right now.
You don't have a response, Liz?
Not at this point in time. I have to be diplomatic at the moment and sit on the fence. I think we can. How do I say it? I think it's comes from your player base, past history, and those that are already showing expression of interest. So that's where I'll leave that one. Because we only put expression of interest out for coaches. We just did a general expression of interest. We didn't even announce NPL or anything like that. It was a little side note. We did one straight expression of interest, no flashy photos, no nothing. All ages, coaches, players, volunteers, and we've got a fair few inquiry already for that MPL levelling. So
good sign.
We're set to go.
Good.
All right, we might wrap it up there. This is the Look Finance SEQFC preview show with thanks to Vilic Law. Only a couple of weeks to go, guys. Hang in there. It's November. Can you believe it? And we're still going. It's the finish line. It's somewhere there ahead. It's somewhere there.
Who thought we would be playing soccer on Halloween? It's scary.
That's the we'll see you next week.